Welcome to the grand final of the Woodward Cup 2020. After a much disrupted year, we're now ready to see whose name goes on the shield between the NT Sea Eagles, coached by Carl, or the Wood Raiders, coached by Keith. The NT Sea Eagles have made a great run in their first year. In the draft, picked up some great players: Whiten, Harry Grant, Latrell Mitchell, Mansour. Looked a pretty good team and have had some very good scores throughout the season, obviously because they're in the grand final. Wood Raiders have hung in there in the finals and with a chance to place his name on the shield for the fifth or sixth time. I think it might be the sixth time. His run has been helped, of course, through him picking up Cleary, thanks to a senior moment of my own back in the pre-draft. I think it'll be a very close game. Trouble is, Wood Raiders have got no backup players. All four of his players on the bench are either not playing or are injured, so that'll be a tight one. NTC Eagles, they've only got one player as a reserve, so it should be a very tight match. Semis have had some interesting results, one being a highlight by the NTC Eagles, their high score of 934, beating the Big Town Badgers. I'm sure Big Town Badgers weren't too pleased with that, but that's the way it goes. Yellow Leadbelters had a good crack this season, and I'm sure both those teams will be ready and back to go again for the 2021 season. Phantom Roosters were looking good, looking very good actually, until the last round, and got picked by NTC Eagles. So let's hope you're back there next year, Steve. It'd be good to get your name on the shield for a second time, but not necessarily next year. You might have to wait a bit. Big Town Badgers and Humdingers had some good scores throughout, just not at the right time. But let's hope that they'll be back again next year. I'm sure you will be. It's been good fun having you in there. Lots of fun to see you playing. Caboolture Vikings, they've been having a rotating roster. Players coming and going, a bit like NRL coaches, in one, out the other. Better rig the draft next year, Coach Glenn, so that you get them all up straight, up first, you know. After all, you do run the place, run the thing. Bathurst Bulldogs and Eskimo Brothers had some really interesting results this year. Gave some big scares to everyone. Bulldogs, I think they'll make the finals next year. The coach is really getting stuck in there occasionally. Got some good players. He's just got to remember to check his team and make sure they're playing. Eskimo Brothers finished ninth, really good result, and could have been in the finals if the Bathurst Bulldogs had won their last match, I believe. So, a bit like West Tigers, but, you know, Bathurst Bulldogs and Eskimo Brothers will be back again next year. And I predict both of those teams will be in the finals next year. There you go. Poor old Brisbane Bulldogs, they seem to have lost their way mid-year. I'm sure they'll progress up the ladder next year. They should be in with a shot, and we'll see how they go. Shady Peas 17 and Caloundra Cowboys. They might be wishing for a whole new draft next year. Don't know what went wrong. I think Caloundra Cowboys like to concentrate too much on the real Cowboys, and you know how well their team's going this year. But let's see how they go next year. Only a short video. I wanted to get it up before the first match tonight, and that's all for me now. And we'll do a wrap up next week. And as for this week's results, obviously I'd like to see Wood Raiders win. Don't really want to see Northern Territory Sea Eagles win in their first go. You've got to do your time a little bit first, Carl. So Wood Raiders to win. See you next week. Bye for now.